Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we are back on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy, we're heard everywhere around the world on the iHeartRadio app, and you can see us live on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join us in the chat. It is it's a Monday, and did you enjoy the basketball this weekend?
Not particularly.
Not particularly. Are you crazy?
I watched a lot.
Uh-huh.
I was impressed by a little.
Uh-huh.
And I will say this, I'm the biggest Blue Jay fan on the planet Earth.
Jeremy put a whole bunch of doubloons on Creighton.
Didn't actually realize how many it was until Thursday, and I went, oh, okay, that could make the whole year if I'm right at plus 3,000. So let's go Blue Jays!
Creighton's still alive in the NCAA tournament, and they get to play Princeton in the next round. Hot.
Feel pretty good my team's going to be around until at least the Elite Eight.
Look, to me, I thought it was a good weekend of basketball.
The college basketball's just got a slew of problems. I mean, look, it's enjoyable to watch. I'll be honest with you, I like the mid and low majors at this point more than I do the highs.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched a lot of teams that there's no competent offense. John Calipari's the one that drives me the most crazy. You can keep telling me how great a coach he is. This is like the Sasquatch of college basketball. No, he's really not. I saw a stat today that if you enrolled at Kentucky in 2019, you will graduate in the spring having seen one Kentucky win in the tournament, which was just against Providence, and 3 games total. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, no, it's not very good. It hasn't been a good 4-year run here, but, I mean, come on. Prior to that, he had his team in the Final Four. So, are you saying he's done? He's overrated? He's cooked?
No, I just don't think this I don't think this way of doing things works. I'm looking at a Creighton team that is without a shadow of a doubt the most impressive team that I've seen so far. If it's not them, it's either UConn or Michigan State. And you know what they all have in common? They're the oldest teams left in the tournament. That's not really a happenstance. And if you run even a vaguely competent offense or a defense that people don't see very often, like a zone, apparently nobody knows how to beat zone. It's making me want to get back into coaching. I'm telling you, I got
the itch.
I got a fever. And the only cure might be a clipboard.
Right. I mean, I feel like that's basketball's problem on the whole, though.
No doubt.
It's not just college basketball. It's the NBA as well. It's just too much of an individual game for. I mean, team basketball is the best way to watch it. In my opinion. In my opinion, team basketball is the best to watch. I don't want to watch these AAU track meet games that's got 1 or 2 players doing everything.
Well, I mean, I coached AAU, so I'm a little I sympathize to this a little bit, and that is a perfect way to kick this show off.
The opening drive brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Go to AndersonNissan.com or you can drop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. Whether you're in the market for a certified pre-owned vehicle or a brand spanking new vehicle like Jeremy's.
I had to go run some errands today, and it was all made much easier by my 2023 Pro 4X fully loaded Nissan Titan. It's the biggest vehicle on the road. It's the most comfortable vehicle on the road. And I learned today, if I get tired of sitting behind somebody not going the speed limit, it'll get you there.
Yep.
In a hurry.
Yep, it will.
629 Brevard Road. Tell them the 2 formerly fat guys of the Sportsocracy sent you.
And when you do, they'll give you a $250 bonus on top of your trade-in just for mentioning us here in the Sportsocracy.
My wife is now shaded off of what she wants, as we will be buying a vehicle from Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville because, well, hers took enough boo-boos, and now she needs one that's boo-booless. I have now, over the course of one weekend, she has wanted 4 different cars at Anderson Nissan, which is why I'm like, all right, let's take a minute. Maybe you figure out what you're after, and then those guys will make it work.
That's right.
Because that's what they do. 629 Brevard Road. Tell them the 2 formerly fat guys of the Sportsocracy sent you.
Indeed, it was. I thought it was a good weekend of college basketball. It had, it had some dominant performances. You had some of the upsets that we like to see in the first couple of weekends of the tournament.
And it's so overrated.
It's not overrated.
You want to see upsets in the first round, and then you want those teams to go bye-bye. Because I asked you this question before this show. Mm-hmm. You tell me the game that you're really I cannot wait to see. Are you really excited to see Dan Hurley, the most nondescript person in the history of time, against Eric Muscle Man that looks like Skip Bayless with his shirt off?
Absolutely. I'm all
pass.
for it.
It's Seacrest out. I'll pass.
Why?
Because there's
Why do
just
you hate
really
Arkansas?
I love Arkansas. They burned me a billion times this year. And, yeah, I saw two cohesive games, one where you played a team that wasn't athletically anywhere near you, and the other against a team that didn't have their coach. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not jumping up and down about that. I mean, I'm looking at the 8 matchups going, yeah, Gonzaga, UCLA will be fun. It's also at 4 o'clock in the morning on Thursday night. So I'm going to have to go to bed early so I can catch that one when I wake up. Right. Because for whatever reason, we have to play these at 9:45 at night. And other than that, Miami and Houston, and that's okay. That's somewhat interesting. Mm-hmm. Princeton, Creighton. I would literally rather watch you do my taxes. Out. I'm out. I don't care. There are no brands. There's 4 high-end players left? I think when I went through my most recent NBA mock draft, there are 3 guys that go in the first round and 2 of them play for Alabama. Mm-hmm. That's not really aesthetically pleasing to me.
There are only 6 of them in college basketball that were going to get drafted in the first round anyway.
And I guess that's the problem, is that I watch this and go, yes, I like watching the UNC Asheville's and the Furmans and these smaller schools that have been together for a long time. I like watching cognitive basketball. What I don't like watching is, hey, look, Alabama has the best player on the floor, and he makes all of you look awful. First round game, didn't score a point. They won by 30. Mm-hmm. Yep, good. Second round game. Oh, yeah. He's the best player on the floor, and it's not even kind of close. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, it just doesn't – the NCAA tournament doesn't move me anymore.
Really?
And if one more person says, how's your bracket? Nobody cares. All right? That's that's like asking me, how's my fantasy team? Well, I made an ad drop with Jamal Williams.
Everybody's bracket sucks right now.
Yeah, it's all
and
awful.
You know what?
If you had Princeton, you're not good at this.
Right.
And you got real lucky.
Right. I was going to say, if your bracket doesn't suck, you didn't mean to.
Not 100%.
I was doing really well through the first two rounds, or the first 2 days of the tournament. After the first round, I was like at the top 85 percentile on ESPN, and then yeah, I'm like 46% for the tournament now.
Yeah, when over half of your games have a line that's 4 or higher in the Sweet 16, yeah, that tells me everything I need to know. Mm-hmm. I'll continue to enjoy the cognitive basketball that's fun to watch.
I will say this again. I think we talked about this every tournament since we've been doing this show. I am good with the upset teams until now.
I'm not. I wanted you going before.
Like making it to the Sweet 16, that's a big deal. Like, never in the million years would anybody ever consider Princeton to be one of the top 16 teams in the country, but here they are. Now, you go up against Creighton, you will get your just desserts, and bye-bye, we'll see you later. It was fun while it lasted.
Oh, yeah, and FAU, FDU, that was fun.
Oh, yeah. If you watch more than 5 seconds of that game, I think you need your head examined.
Yeah, because if I had to hear one more time, FDU got the Dayton band to come follow them around because they don't have a band. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Uh-huh.
And then I found out how much FDU's coach makes, and I couldn't stop looking at him like a hobo.
You just felt bad for him.
He makes $22,000
just like
a year.
To throw him some change.
He makes $22,000 a year.
Well, what should he make? I mean, come on, it's Fairleigh Dickinson University. It's not like they've got a major budget over there.
He should make more than that, okay? He should be able to rent a studio apartment in Asheville with what he makes as the head coach at FDU.
I mean, I'm not trying to take a shot here or anything, but during our SoCon coverage of the games, Richmond Weaver said he used to be a coach at Fairleigh Dickinson.
I think I knew that.
So, I mean, again, not trying to take a shot at Richmond Weaver, but he's hosting a radio show down in Greenville, South Carolina right now. It's not like they've got a whole lot of money to spend on college coaches.
At Sports Think ESPN. Rich is a very bright guy.
I love Rich.
I used to coach too. It shocked me when I found out that a D1 head coach is making less than I've made in stops along the way.
Right.
That's kind of confounding to me.
You had your 16 over a 1 for only the second time in history. You had a 15 seed.
By the way, never take Purdue again, ever. In anything.
No. And I knew it. I knew it as soon as I did it in my bracket. I went, you know what? I've taken Purdue every year for the last 3 years to win a game or two in the NCAA tournament. They've bitten me every time. This is going to be the year that they're gonna win some games.
I'll tell you my favorite stat of the day. In the last so the tournament expanded in 85. There are 4 schools that have lost to a 13 or higher in the first round 3 or more times. Purdue's done it 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
3 years in a row! That's hard to do!
Alex Majabi in the comments says, as a Purdue fan, I give up.
They had
maybe you should.
Zion said they had a 7-4 monster and got owned by the smallest roster in college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That part I was kind of fond of. I will also say by that time, that game was late. Was it Friday? That was Friday night. So by that point on St. Patrick's Day, I had overachieved.
Yes, as did I.
Oh yeah. Oh, Fun Time Tank Spencer came out on Thursday.
Yeah,
it was
fun.
That was a sight to behold. I mean, we're used to watching Jeremy work a shift at the bar on the other side. Seeing Tank do it is oh my.
Yeah. And I gotta thank. I gotta thank your lovely wife for that last little nugget of advice. Oh, she's coming to pick you up. You can just have one more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, the one more was more than I needed.
Yeah. Sorry, Long Shoals Road.
Yeah.
That didn't go Tank's way.
No, it didn't go Long Shoals Road's away either. I had fun with the basketball, as I always do. Are the crowds lesser? Sure. What was the game you were telling me? The
Xavier
Greensboro
in
game?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I think there have been more people at games I coached.
Crowds didn't show up for some of the games, and that's unfortunate. This would be where I would use that old, maybe if you put them in some better spots, maybe you'd get better crowds, but then Greensboro was the one that was the culprit, and so I can't say that anymore. Because I like seeing the tournaments in Greensboro. But I expected crowds like that in Des Moines, Iowa. Who the hell wants to go to Des Moines, Iowa?
It just, for me, it didn't do it for me. And that is the March sadness discussion for the day. Mm-hmm. But that's not what we do here. You know what we talk about here? Football!
That's right.
And that's what's coming.
That's right. We got free agency grades coming up in the next hour. We'll also talk about, some of the moves that have been made over the weekend. The Detroit Lions out here doing stuff. C.J. Gardner-Johnson has been signed. What's the fallout here from the offseason so far for the Detroit Lions? We'll talk about it up next.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app, and your Ingles personal shopper gets